right. All right, hello everybody. This is the Loggerhead Net. We're going to be live here in just a minute on the air. We are monitoring, and they're going to be going live in just a second. So hang in there. And like I said, this is going to be the Loggerhead Net. This is an amateur radio net originating out of Southwest Florida on Sanibel Island. And we're going to have a view there of Sanibel Island, the causeway going over, and a view of the sunset out there going on right now out on the beach on Sanibel. So here we go. This is the Loggerhead Net. I will be participating myself and will be listening on the side. Stand by.
Frequency in use. QRZ the frequency. Is this frequency in use? No station heard. Well, this is WA4WDV, and I'm going to be your net control tonight for the Loggerhead Net and on the air meeting of the Sanibel Ham Emergency Unit. This net is operating on the W4SBL repeater. Have you already discovered you're on 146.79 megahertz, and you have a PL tone of 136.5 hertz. This is a directed net. All communications should be directed to net control. Repeater is sponsored by the City of Sanibel under the Sanibel Emergency Management Plan and is maintained by Fort Myers Amateur Radio Club. Thanks, guys. Forever grateful. Repeater located at City Hall on Sanibel Island. Its antenna located on a tower behind City Hall on Sanibel Island. You don't have to be a member of this esteemed net, a formal member, because all hams worldwide are welcome. So everybody out there, it's initial check-in time, so call now.
November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel, John Matlache.
KO4 EFS, Ian in North Fort Myers.
KF6SJD, Mike, Cape Coral.
Okay, I got John and Ian and Mike. And anybody else initial check-in for the Loggerhead Net? I know you're out there. Call now.
J4RAB, Rick in Fort Myers.
Okay, we got you. Who else would like to be on the initial check-in list? Interesting. I wonder if there's something going on I don't know about. Well, I'll go ahead and get started and see if we can pick up a few more here. Kind of busy on the HF bands that were fair. Had some interesting subjects occur. And did you notice on the intro that I asked if the frequency was clear? And I want to thank KO4EFS and the Star Wars crew for reminding me that that's good ham radio practices to ask if the frequency is clear before transmitting. Thank you. So that's now a permanent part of the preamble, Ian. Well, let's see. We had several special event stations, and we had one interesting one was the 100th anniversary of the first transatlantic radio transmission. That would make it 1925, wouldn't it? And the antenna that they use might be of interest. They had huge banks and banks of receivers, transmitters, but the antenna, you ready for this, was a wire beverage antenna, 10 miles long. So, that would be an HOA problem, wouldn't it? 10-mile long wire antenna? Yeah, so anyway. They have a very nice certificate you get for making a contact with them, so I like that one. We had a group on there. Some of you may have seen it on the cluster. It was a station from Jamaica, and what that station was a group. There is a traveling group of de-expedition people. Just not rich people that can afford a lot of equipment and everything to take on a de-expedition. It's a worldwide group that if you want to join it, you pay your own way, and if you got something to contribute to a de-expedition site, you're welcome to come along. And they have a schedule on the internet on QRZ page. We're in Jamaica, which isn't a very de-expedition place, but they have one on right now in Western Africa. Something, I forgot what the name of it is, but I'll look it up. Anyway, let's get going with the start of the net. I'll give you some more as we go along here. K6, or N6, that's right, John. N6 JDH WA4WDV. Go ahead, John.
Thank you, Net Control. This is November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel. I just stayed busy this past week doing an awful lot of POTA, which I really enjoy. And I know this week we have the Lee Aries meeting, and I don't know whether or not we have a FMARC meeting, but anyway, that's really it. Just enjoying the weather. Today it was so windy I was scared to put up anything other than my SS-17 Chameleon set at 8 feet for 10 meters, but 10 meters was open all the way to the west coast. Anyway, back to net. This is November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel.
6JDH, WA4WDV, back to you. Yeah, there was a lot of POTAs on, and I guess the weather is starting to warm up a little bit up north, and I worked several of those. Glad you're getting out and about with those and making a bunch of activations, John. That's a good, healthy bit of ham radio, right? Rather than sitting at the desk in the house. All right, Ian, I hope you got a report on the blood moon. Did you get out of the house at 2 a.m. The other day and see the blood moon, or what have you got? Anything on that? Oh, by the way, before I pass it over to you, I did work a station, and this is up your alley because we talked about it recently. The Aurora Borealis effect on HF. I talked at length to a station in Alberta. He was up in northern Alberta, and he was telling me how there was no HF there the previous 2 days because they had a lot of Aurora Borealis going on. He says every time that comes up to any strength, they lose HF and ham radio. So KO4EFS, WA4WDV, go ahead.
KO4EFS. Yeah, it takes, what happens is, the same thing that causes those auroras also causes a disruption in the electromagnetic field, which screws up all of our radio communications. So that's why it's like that. Unfortunately, when we're doing good auroras, we're not going to be good on HF. But there is some communications out there that use the aurora as a reflection and are doing that. I've never done that myself, but I've heard it's quite interesting. The other thing is, I didn't propose a change to the preamble. I think it must have been somebody else. Certainly not Scotland's when it comes to these kind of things. So I'm not sure who that was, but it wasn't me. And finally, I've been doing 2 meter. I haven't been doing much on HF lately. I did some severe weather coverage with those really bad storms yesterday. Man, that was a mess up there in Alabama and Mississippi, and quite a mess there. So I'll pass it to the second round, KO4EFS.
Okay, Ian, KO4EFS, WA4WDV, back at you. Yeah, I was watching your slow scan TV live presentation before the net, you know, the ISS. So we enjoyed watching that. And I didn't get to talk to him, but there was a guy on 20 meters a couple days ago from Murphy, North Carolina, and I know you're familiar with that location. But I couldn't get him because he was kind of a pilot or something. He said he was a pilot and then laid off. There's videos there. Yeah, and I'll put a plug in for you. Okay, Mike, KF6FJD, WA4WDV. Mike, go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Good evening to the group. Another fine day. Nice and warm today. A little slight breeze. A little cloud cover kept it real comfortable. Yeah, 10 meters has been on fire the whole weekend. Very little effort. A lot of West Coast contacts, a lot of Caribbean contacts, South America. Good stuff. A lot of fun. I hope guys get out there and enjoy HF right now. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, back to net control. This is KF6 FJD.
Yeah, okay, Mike. Maybe on the next go around, you can tell us who you've been talking to on 10 meters. Yeah, I noticed it's been open. Yeah, we were enjoying it because boy, it was closed for so long, and who knows if it'll be open this summer. We'll have to see. But yeah, let us know in the next go around who you've been working on 10 meters. Another place I worked, I thought it was the country of San Marino, the country of San Marino. So I guess we always like to have a little geography lesson in the loggerhead net when possible, and I guess you all know where that is without Googling it. Smallest country in Europe. So anyway, I'll see what I can come up with for the next comment. In the meantime, we're going to listen to Rick here. Words of wisdom from K4RAB. Go ahead.
Oh, this is K4RAB. Yeah, not much words of wisdom here, but we got just got an email a while ago about the North American SSB Sprint Contest next Saturday night, starting at 8 o'clock. It's voice. It's not CW. It's voice. 4 hours. Look at ssbsprint.com is all the details there. The rules are a little different from your usual contests, so you can't have a station sitting on a certain frequency and just taking it over. They have to move. So they got to move at least 5 kilohertz each time they make a contact. So I think I'm going to try this one out. It should be very interesting. And other than that, I don't know of anything else at the moment, so we'll just wait for the second round. Yeah, the storms up in Alabama and Mississippi have been horrendous. So it's that time of the year. It came in with a bang. So anyway, back to net, K4RAB.
K4RAB, WA4WDV. Yeah, I know about the Sprint. Yeah, I'm going to check that out. I hadn't seen that one yet, but I'll look for that I guess it's on the contest calendar, or wherever, for next weekend. I know that the Straight Key Century Club has one of those every month, one weekend a month, and so I know how those operate. I play in those every so often. Played in that the one in March here. Yeah, you just move on to else. Yeah, it's a little bit different, huh? Okay, I guess that means I'm going to pause. Yeah, take a pause and see if there's any. It's going to have to be a late check-in at this point. Any late check-ins? Call now.
Howdy, here is AA4JF.
Wow, yeah, AA4JS, Mr. John, I got you. Who else? Anybody else out there for a late check-in? I don't know what's going on. Maybe, John, you know something going on that I don't, but we're missing some of the some of the other familiar stations. Meantime, AA4JS, it's your turn. WA4WDV, go ahead.
Well, just walked into the house about 5 minutes ago. My sister from Indiana is in town. She came down. She got in town Thursday evening, and so Friday and yesterday and today we've had a ball running around. And she's heading back to her hotel now, leaving early in the morning. But nice to spend some time with her and have a good dinner here and there. And so that it's been a really good weekend for me. And so I hadn't had this radio on probably 10 or 5 minutes even when you called for next person. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. Obviously, the last few days I haven't done much ham radio stuff because we've been doing around. I've been showing her around and all that. So it's been a wonderful visitation to see her. Anyway, with that, I'll pass it back to you from AA4JS.
Yeah, I got it, AA4JS. Thank you, WA4WDV. Well, that was very nice. That's good for you, John. Good morale booster. Have your sister in town. I don't think mine ever came here. She lived in San Diego. She never came here. Well, I take that back. When my daughter got married, she came to the wedding on Sanibel here. But other than that, she never darkened the causeway. But anyway, that's okay. Yeah, I had some interesting items for you. You could have heard, but I won't go back over and bore everybody, John. But there was some stuff going on HF. Let's see. Well, let me ask you this, John. Have you heard? You've been in this ham radio business a while. There's a group that goes around creating de-expeditions. It's a bunch of everyday folks that just never have a chance to do that, and they bring their own gear and go at their own expense, and they have a calendar, and they go around the world setting up the expeditions. You ever heard of that group, John? Go ahead.
Yeah, I've read about some of those guys, and I've never been a person that has been in enough of a available time and money to go someplace like that to do that. But I think that would be a whole lot of fun. But I can't imagine that is something that I would ever actually do. But yeah, I've worked, some of those guys here in their different places, and it's been very interesting. So that's what I know about it. Back to you from AA4JS.
Yeah, okay, AA4JS, WA4WDV. Yeah, it's interesting. I hadn't heard about them before, but they're pretty busy. I was looking at their schedule on QRZ, and this month alone they had several places they were going. It's not the same people all the time. They have a big enough group that they can send one group here and another group to another place. In fact, they have two of them going basically right now. One in Jamaica and the one in it's a country called something on the west coast of Africa here. It's got the word "the" in front of it. They're on right now. They were on this week. Gambia, the Gambia. Yeah, there's two different places. Enough on that. Gosh. I guess I'll go to the top of the list and then come back at the end and see if anybody else showed up. So we got another John waiting there, N6JDH, WA4WDV. Go ahead, Matt Lachey.
Hey, thank you, Nat. This is November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel. I just pulled the stats from yesterday on 10 meters. I was at Babcock, and I had 234 contacts, 40 of which were park-to-park. There were 12 Canadas, 3 Netherlands, 3 Puerto Rico, 3 England, 2 France, 2 Italy, 2 Costa Rica. One of the Costa Rica was a park-to-park. 2 Chile, 2 Wales, 2 Brazil, they consider Hawaii on this Polo app as a DX. Mexico, Grenada, Poland, I got Poland was a park-to-park, and Colombia and Venezuela, and then 41 U.S. states all yesterday on 10 meters. Anyway, back to net. It was pretty hot on 10.
Yeah, N6 JDH WA4WDV. Were you doing all this by yourself? Did you have somebody helping log all that? That's awesome there, 254 contacts. Were you doing all of this by yourself, John? Go ahead.
Yeah, I take a laptop with me, and I used to run Smart Logger, but I had it crash. And then I went to Ham RS, and I had Ham RS freeze up on me. And now I'm using this Polo app, and so far so good. Plus, if you make a mistake and forget to enter something, you can enter it on one of them, and it'll propagate through all of them, which is great, unlike some of the other apps. But no, it's really not that hard. You just get into the role. I had an excellent teacher, the other John, by the way. Anyway, back to net.
Okay. Yeah, I figured it was the other John. But I heard one of the POTUS stations I heard talking in the last few days, I don't know, he was doing all the logging on his phone. I don't know if you're using that or if you got a tablet or a laptop or something, but you might tell me sometime. But this guy was doing it all on the phone, and he had to stop for a minute and reset something on it. But anywho, whatever works, I guess. All righty. On we go to KO4EFS, WA4WDV. Ian, go ahead.
KO4EFS, hello everybody again this evening. We went out to the tower site earlier, and we're still waiting for our friend to come and tune the cans on that, and to get it finally on the frequency where it's going to be. The Lutz node is up, the Noah Fort Myers node is up, and we should have a Naples repeater going up here in about 30 days. So we're getting there. The Freedom Network is slowly coming together. We're also going to be on Broadcastify and Echolink and All-Star and Zello. So it'll be everywhere. Let's see what else is going on. I guess that's about it. I've been trying to broadcast as many nets as I can. This one's going out now live over YouTube. And I've got some interest. You know, people have questions about these nets and how they can get involved, and that's the whole purpose for it. I think it's a good thing. So there you go. And that's about it. I don't networking and fun stuff like that. I just got an FTM 400 XD VHF UHF radio from Joseph. He gave it to me. It's only putting out very low power, but we're going to be using it for the receiver for the internet. We're going to set up a permanent full-time receiver to do these nets with, that will be set up all the time, and we're going to program it to have all the different frequencies set right in it and everything. And then there'll be a camera that will capture the screen and the readout and everything on the screen. So that'll be cool. Other than that, that's what I got going on. KO4EFS.
4EFS, WA4WDV. Wow, Mr. High Tech himself. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff going on there. And I told you, and anybody watching your YouTube channel now, I guess it's still on the ISS, and they can tune on, watch that. Anyway, I've enjoyed watching your video. I watched the net, the Cape Coral Gabfest net also here this week. So I enjoy watching your presentations, John. There's a plug for you, Ian. All right. Okay, KF6FJD, WA4WDV. Mike, you're up. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Yes, Ian's doing a great job on the YouTube channel, and hope other people are taking advantage and watching it as well. Yeah, the contacts were primarily in Oregon and Washington, and then, typical Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, San Martin, places like that. A couple in Brazil, Sao Paulo, and some Mexican stations. So, yeah, 10 meters has been on fire. So, there you go. Back to net control. This is KF6FJD.
Okay, you POTA guys are racking them up. KF6FJD, WA4WDV. Yeah, the other thing that Ian was talking about, exposing ham radio to, people, get a little, create some interest, maybe get some new folks in the hobby for sure. But the name escaped. The radio, they're doing a lot to help out the program. They came out with that, and maybe you, you were going to have a review for us too, Ian, on a new product here. I don't know what happened to that, but did you ever use that one that they came out with? QRZ had a joint HT with the store, with that company there, and this, why can't I think of it? Anyway, they did that, made it real inexpensive with a nice HT for newcomers that could use it. Also, they had this package for getting ready to get a license, a software package you could study and blah, 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 whole layout. So they were really doing a good job. Let me go back to Ian for a second. Ian, are you familiar with that, with those two things that they're doing at that company? Go ahead.
No, but I like the idea. I definitely like the idea as long as it's not done in a for-profit way and it's done more in a for results way. I would be all for something like that. A while back when I was with the club, one of the things we got going was offering pre-programmed radios to new people coming in so we could get them right on the radio as quick as we could. And yes, I am doing a review on the Bofang UV5RM plus GPS, and it will come out as soon as I can get it to program. It's so new that we can't get it to program, and I told him I won't do a review on a radio until I can have it do everything that it does. So we're in a little bit of a holding pattern here at the outer markers. Hopefully we'll be able to get that resolved soon. KO4EFS.
Well, yeah, KO4EFS, WA4WDV. That's pretty bad if they put the product out and if you can't figure out how to program it. Yeah, they need to. You're right on time. They need to back up a few paces and run it across the shop again. Get that to work before they start selling them. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, Mike, thanks a lot for your contribution here tonight, FJD. And we're going to move on to Rick, K4RAB, WA4WDV. Go ahead.
Okay, this is K4RAB, still adjusting to this goofy time change. Feels a little better, but anyway, like I said, I'm going to try that SSB contest next weekend and see how that goes. Like I said, it's a little different for me, so let's try something new. It's a sprint, 4 hours, so it should be fun. But anyway, I'm going to try to get out to the Buckingham event this week and do a little operating out there, and I'm trying to think what else is going on. Let's see, we got that, we got the Aries meeting Tuesday night. I guess that's about it, so enough is enough. So anyway, I'm glad the net's going and all that. We also have the windmill net at 9 o'clock on 28.475, I believe it is. But anyway, that's one thing I tried to do, so we're trying to get that net going again. So anyway, that's it for me at the moment. Back to you, K4RAB.
Hey, Rick, good reminders there. Yeah, I'll tune in on that 28.475, the one right after this net. I used to go on that quite frequently when the guy that was the net control lived up there by the just beyond the VA hospital, and I could reach him with the linear on 10 meters, but I haven't been able to have any success recently. I'll listen tonight. Since 10 meters has been so good, everybody's reporting, And I agree, I was on it, enjoying it too. So I'll try it tonight and see if it's ground wave is possibly making it. And the Sprint, we'll try that one with you. Get a report on that next weekend. All right, thanks for that reminder. AA4JS. Okay, John, you may be the tail gunner here. I don't know. We'll give another shout out, but in the meantime, WA4WDV, go ahead.
AA4JS here. Yeah, that 10 meter thing, I used to take be on that one practically every Sunday night, and but the person that was running it changed, and I was never able to hear them, and I was and there were several of the participants that I couldn't hear anymore, so I kind of got away from that. But I can remember some really good nights with that, where it was always a group of 5 or 6 local guys, but then once in a while somebody would jump in from some other state, and I remember one night even the guy running it working I think a Hawaii guy that we could all hear, and I remember, of course, being 10. This guy was there was a guy in Ohio that was a basic, but the first could only do 10 meter, and just once in a while he would be able to hit us and join, and usually it was local guys, but it was always cool when somebody, some way odd place would show up, and there were a few nights that there were several that just picked it up. So I always enjoyed that one, but I haven't been on that in a long time. Who knows? Maybe I'll give it a try tonight, depending on whether I feel like it's time to go to bed or not. Anyway, good to hear you all, and good to hear at least the second round through all of you. Good to hear you, and I'll pass it back to our chief from AA4JS.
Chief, huh? How, yeah. AA4JS, WA4WDV here. Yeah, that's exactly the same scenario that I remember from the 10-meter net, exactly. And to the point of couldn't hear it anymore, so stopped trying. But I'm going to try here again. But is Charles, is he the one that's running that net now? I don't know. Somebody might know that when I finish here. If you do, pass it on here. But being in charge of that net now, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I'm going to pause, see if there's any of you guys out there, please call now.
Net control, KJ4NKO.
Oh, there's a familiar voice. What's going on here, Mike?
Good evening, Alex. I caught the second round. I looked up and went, oop, 744. Oh, so I missed the late check-in on the first round. I've spent just about the entire week with my nose buried in a computer, looking at Google Earth, Google Maps, Google Arizona. Right. And long story short, I didn't do anything on the radio this week, not a thing. But tomorrow morning after my dentist appointment, 11 o'clock, I'll be packing up myself, the dog, and driving to Dolan Springs, Arizona to look at Bill. That's been my week. That's all I have for you. Back to Alex. KJ4NKL.
Hey, I'm here, Mike. So wow, you moved up the timeline there, leaving tomorrow. I didn't think it wasn't going to happen for a couple of weeks, but I sent Mike, the rest of the group, a link for a school in Phoenix, Arizona, what used to be Williams Air Force Base, where we trained pilots in the Air Force for many years. It's closed now, but they've got this school there and get, I think it might be close to 45-minute air-to-air combat ride. They get another plane up there, and you can yank and bank and pull a few G's and try to hold down your stomach and try it out. I thought that would interest you, Mike. I don't know how long you're going to be out there, but I know you got an interest in airplanes. Anyway, I hope you took a look at that. But man, that's coming up fast here. Okay, anybody else want to join Mike as a super late check-in? Call now.
AA4JS with the comment.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, Charles, in the last hurricane, lost his 10 antenna, and so that's why he didn't run that net anymore. And Dan from North Carolina, or from Fort Myers rather, ran it for a while. I don't know if he still does or not, but yeah, I used to work, but back to you.
Update for me. Needed WA4WDV. Well, let's get on there tonight, and maybe we'll both discover who is or who isn't running that net nowadays, John. So I guess that's it. If anybody else has anything else, help yourself to the frequency after I close her out here. And gosh, Mike, A4, KJ4NKL. I mean, you won't be with us next week, will you? You're not going to be out there and back in time for next Sunday night's net. And even if I cranked up the power, I don't think you'd hear us out there. Okay, so we'll close up the loggerhead net for this edition and look for everybody but Mike next week. WA4WDV 73.
K4REB.
4REB, WA4WDV. Rick, go ahead.
Yeah, Dan has been running that net. He's been having antenna problems. I've been helping him run it some of the time. I'm going to check it out tonight. If Dan doesn't come on, I'll jump in there and run it myself. And we'll see if anybody comes on. The last couple of weeks we haven't had anybody on. So let's see if we can round up some folks on there. 28475 at 9 o'clock local time. K4REB.
Okay, K4REB, WA4WDV. Well, I'll be there, and AA4JS says he'll be there, so we'll see if anybody else shows up, and we'll see if we can get you on a ground wave over there, Rick. So anybody else got any comments? Otherwise, we'll close her up and say 73. Okay, closing it up, 73.